So this is related to reasonable compensation. The new rules, new guidance issued by IRS on now needing a requirement of having the compensation documented, not just referring to court cases and doing some rough math, which many of us have done for the past 10 plus years. So new guidance issued late last year, effective for the tax returns 2021. They've made that issue very clear. And again, they've trained about 2,500 employees to do reasonable comp audits. They trained them in Austin in 2018, and they just got delayed in getting around to doing the exams. And very, very likely that they will continue that trend of starting the exams up. They have done a couple this year already, and they're in training mode with their staff. So along those lines, reasonable comp reports, we create a couple, and they come up with different numbers. Hence, we're going to do a couple and come up with what seems to be the most reasonable number. We've run an example here. We'll call it test lawyer. Suggested salary range turns out to be 158 to 327, high versus low. There's suggested, there's high, there's low. There's information that we put in there. This is some of the basic overview here, but we have to put in some job descriptions, kind of what you're doing. Are you chief executive, manager, attorney, etc.? Employee size counts, revenue of the company counts as well. That's how one report looks. And then we have what may be a appropriate consent and minutes of directors of meetings signed off on reasonable compensation. In some cases, you may refer to legal counsel to make sure that you're okay. Another example, slightly different numbers. Comes from a different source, even though much of the information is very similar. We've got another example that we run. So we're basically doing 2 or 3 or 4 of these for each scenario. And so this is requesting different information. As a matter of fact, this one in particular, we saw from the IRS. This is exactly the one that they used in the exam. And they shot us copies of it for someone else. So it matched up really closely to what we would have done. So again, this is what you're going to expect to see from us. Then we'll come up with a suggestion on what your compensation should be. And some of that is clearly based upon retirement plan, no retirement plan, some other factors, what you're doing, up, if you're going up, going down, if you're staying steady. So multitude of factors involved. But anyway, this is what's going to look like. These things do take time once we get started. So we may have some questions for you on it. And then we'll communicate our findings with you. So this is going to be the reasonable compensation information. Thanks.